So let's discuss first of all the introduction of the Unix operating system. Okay, and after that, the we will discuss the all the kind of things which is we have. Okay, so in the Unix operating system, what is that when it implemented? Okay, and what kind of features that is we have. So let's discuss first of all the Unix operating system. Okay, so let me open it. So the introduction of to Unix operating system is the Unix is an operating system that is truly based off all operating system like Ubuntu, Solaris, and we do have multiple types of operating system version in that. Okay, it was developed in 1970s by Ken Thompson. Okay, and Dennis Ritchie. Okay, so the organization was AT&T who developed this Unix operating system. It was originally meant for programmers, developers, software rather than non-programmers as well. Okay, so in this Unix operating system, we have multiple functions like uh, let's discuss the few functions as well, like how the Unix operating system is going to work. Okay, basically that was the organization AT&T, and this organization developed the Unix operating system. Okay, and this Unix operating system is found in 1970s. Okay, who developed this? Kim Thompson and Dennis Ritchie. Okay, so let me do one thing. Let me open the Epic Pen. So basically, guys, the first of all, if you have watched the before the technology like the old technologies, so in the old technologies we have like the CPU would be like in other room, hard disk would be like in other rooms, right? So these kind of devices we have at that time means 1970s I'm talking about. Okay, and these devices was very big. Okay, means that would be like a container, right? Means let me show you the picture as well so that you can understand. That is old hard disk. Okay, so in the old hard disk, let me show you the picture so then you can understand. See, this was the hard drive. Okay, this was our hard drive, and basically this is having the very big, right? But the storage was very less of a storage we have. And then whenever like when these kind of devices we have, at that time this Unix operating systems launched with it. Okay, just like this, if you can see in this picture. So this is our cabinet, right? What is that? This is our cabinet, and here is the all the kind of devices would be there in that only. Okay, means in the cabinet we have the hard drive and we have multiple things over there. Okay, so just like that we do have these kind of old technologies who developed these kind of devices, and then they were working on the Unix operating system. Okay, these are the magnetic tape, right, where they are going to store the all the datas in their hard drive. So this is basically hard drive. Okay, so at that time the Unix operating system was launched. Okay, and the monitor was like this. Okay, as you can see over here. Okay, so that is the thing which is we had in 1960s. Okay, or 1970s. So this is the thing which is we have. And this Unix operating system is also having a one drawback, that is this is totally command line interface basis operating system. Means if you have to make any directory or any folder, right? So you have to use the command, means always you have to work on the command, and then you can work on the Unix operating system. Okay, so that was a very big drawback which is we had in Unix operating system. Now, if I'm talk about how the Unix operating system is going to work, so we have the things which is, suppose that here is our user, right, and here is our cabinet. Okay, okay, so in this cabinet this would be the structure would be that. Okay, means here is our user. Okay, and this is hardware. So between the user and hardware, the kernel is going to work. So what is the use of the kernel? Where your operating system, where your CPU, and where your all the files which is working regarding the operating system and CPU, who is going to manage? The kernel. Okay, so kernel is going to manage the all the kind of information. Okay, and these are the application file. Okay, these are the application files which is we have. Now we have the some layers, like we if you can see in this picture, we have hardware, we have kernel, then we have some kind of files and all the things, then we have other application program. Okay, so first layer is that, what is that? That's a hardware. So it consists all of the hardware related information, right? Means the all the related hardware information, such as what kind of hardware we have, like motherboard, right, and all the components regarding the motherboard. Who is going to maintain this layer? That is layer 1. In the layer 2, that is we called it kernel. So it interacts with the hardware, and most of the tasks like memory management, task scheduling and management are done by the kernel. Means regarding the operating system, regarding the management. Okay, and regarding the task task would be like, if you are going to create any file folders regarding that, so who is going to maintain? The kernel. Okay, then we have shell command. So what is the use of shell command? What is the shell command? Shell command is a utility that process your requests, right? When you type in a command, that the terminal, the shell interrupts the command and shell the program that you wanted to, are like, see, after managing all the kind of things by the kernel, like memory management, task scheduling, right? So after that, like how we can perform, we must have to do all the things with using the CLI. Okay, so in the CLI we have multiple commands, right? So with using these commands, we can perform the task, we can uh, manage our memory, we can schedule any kind of management. Okay, just like creating folder, file and all the things. Okay, so we can, how we can do with using the CLI, and who is going to manage? Shell command. Means these things where we can do in a shell command, we can do any kind of CLI commands or any kind of access regarding creating file, disk, memory management and all the things. Okay, then in last we have that is application layer. Okay, so in the application layer, this is a this is outermost layer that executes the given internal applications. Okay, such as, like we use the CLI, right, to create the files, to manage the all the kind of memories and all. Okay, so where we can do that with using the some application. Okay, what kind of application we have? Like shell command, right? We can do memory management, we have task scheduling management, right? So all all the kind of things we can do with using the application layer. Okay, with using this application layer we can do all the things over here. Okay, now let me just explain this figure as well. Okay, like how basically your operating system, this journey is going to work. Okay, so the first process is the hardware. Okay, then we have the hardware control. So in this hardware control there will be the two things, right? Let me just, I think it's clear for you. Now, in the hardware control, we have multiple things, right? Means we have device drivers, okay? Then we have cache memory, then we have memory management, right? And all the scheduler like the task scheduler and memory management, who is going to maintain these in this box, okay? Means controls subsystem is going to maintain all the things. Now after that we have buffer cache, okay, where your all the files and all the folders are going to maintain. Okay, so that's the thing we have over here. Okay, let me just make it. Okay, so we have some steps as well, so I'm not going to discuss that. Okay, now the next part is we have like Linux operating system. Okay, like if anybody's have to do any kind of practical regarding the anything, so they have to purchase the Unix operating system, right? If you are going to purchase the Unix operating system, basically that's Unix operating system is not free. That means you have to purchase it from somewhere. Okay, means you have to pay uh, very it was very costly at that time. Okay, just like 1 lakh and all the things, and 50,000. Okay, so these kind of things we have to pay, and then we can purchase the Unix operating system. So that was a very big problem, right? Means no one can afford this. Okay, so to solve this problem we have Linux operating system. Okay, so Linux operating system is based on the two things, that is GUI base and CLI base as well. Okay, so this Linux operating system is freely available for every user. Means everyone can take the access of your Linux operating system, everyone can install it, and this one also having the lots of features. Okay, so what are the features we have? Let's talk about the differences. Okay, so the first difference is the Linux operating system is what? The source code of Linux is freely available to its users, right? Means this is free of cost. Means anyone can install it, anyone can download that, and anyone can use it. Okay, but the Unix operating system, this is basically not freely available for the public, right? Means you have to purchase, you have to spend some money, right? Just like 50,000 and all the things. Now in Linux operating system, it has GUI interface along with command line interface. Okay, that means we have GUI as well as we have CLI. Okay, it only has command line interface. As we discussed, this have only and only CLI access, command line interface. Now the Linux operating system is portable, and this is flexible and can be executed in different hard drives. Okay, means if you wanted to move this operating system from one hard drive to the another hard drive, so you can move it, right? This is flexible, means this can um, this can handle all the kind of things, all the materials regarding the operating system, right? Means you can install it the hard drive 1 and in the hard drive 2 as well. Okay, so this is portable and this is also flexible. Okay, but If I'm talking about the Unix operating system, this Unix operating system is not portable. Means if you are using only this operating system is only on the one PC, so you can only and only use that operating system only on that PC only, right? You cannot use these operating system with another's. Okay, so means if you are going to purchase the Unix operating system, so you can purchase, means this is supportable only for one PC. So that was also very big problem. Means if I have multiple PCs in my organization, so how can I use that, right? So that's why, to solve this problem, we have Linux operating system. What we have? We have Linux operating system to solve this problem. Now, if I'm talk about the different version of Linux and Unix, so the different version of Linux operating system are just like Ubuntu, Linux Mint, Red Hat Enterprise, Kali Linux, right? So we have multiple things, right? Means with using that we can use multiple things over here, right? Means we have Kali Linux as well, and in the Red Hat Enterprise. Nowadays, this version of the Linux operating system are working too much. Means uh, the lots of organizations are using this Red Hat Enterprise Linux, and we are also going to install this Red Hat Enterprise Linux operating system. Okay, and then what we are going to do, we are also going to perform some practical regarding that. Okay, means how we can run any kind of commands, how we can create the file, how we can delete the file. Okay, how we can create the directories with using the CLI. Okay, so we will see all the things regarding this. Now, if I'm talk about the Ubuntu of operating system, so we have the different version of the Ubuntu operating system. What are these? Just like AIS, HPUX, right? BSD, Iris. So these two operating system are working. That was very demandable, right? Right now this is not demandable, but previously this was very demandable. These two operating system, HPUX and Iris. Okay, means this operating system basically launched with these some kind of companies. So like we have, at the time we have two to three most of the organization, that is like we have IBM, we have Apple, and we do have HP as well. At the time when the operating system, the Unix operating system launched. Okay, so they launched with these machines, right? Means before that, before coming all the kind of systems in the market, there was the few companies who was using their own system, their own rules, their own protocols. So, what are the companies? That was IBM, Apple, HP, and all the things. So, this Unix operating system is launched with these kind of machines over there. Okay. Now, if I'm talk about the file system, so the Linux operating system supports multiple operating system, right? Just like it support ex2, ext, ex3, ex1, right? It also support the NTFS. Okay, so this is also compatible with the kind of any other file if you have in Windows operating system. So this Linux is also going to support that in some ways, right? But do we have any kind of things regarding FAT32 or NTFS in the Unix operating system? No, there is no any kind of rules, right? So just like guys, if you can see, so like the Unix operating system is like Apple, right? If you are using an Apple iPhone, so you cannot transfer any data from the different phone, right? And the one side we have Android. Okay, means who can support all the things which is it have. Okay, this is compatible with this. So these kind of things we have, guys. Okay, so that's the overview of Unix operating system. Okay, guys, do you have any doubt, any things to ask? I will do one thing. I will upload this PDF on Google Drive, and I will also mention the link in the description box. Okay. So, guys, that's the thing which is we have regarding this Unix operating system, and these are the things which is we have, right? So, guys, just do one thing. Everyone, just write it down all the kind of introductions about the Unix operating system and all. Then we'll move to the next part. Okay. So that's the thing, guys. That is we have. Okay. In the next part, we will directly we will do some practical regarding that. Okay. In the next video, we will directly do the practical. Okay, so you can get familiar with the practical sessions and all the things regarding Unix. Okay.